Hello, I'm going to make another video about Drive here. This one is about a new option that came this school year to Drive. And if you notice right over here, you've probably seen you have this new priority kind of tab over here, and maybe you've just ignored it because you're not sure what it is, or you've looked at it and been confused. But it's actually got some really cool options to it, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So I've just clicked priority, and now you'll see that there's some files up here these are what they call priority files, and these are ones that either you have just recently worked on or that you work on often. And so Google kind of determines that for you. You really don't control what's in here besides by your behaviors, which it keeps track of things you edited today or things that you work on often. Okay. But the thing I want to show you are these workspaces down here. Now, I already created one, but I'm going to delete it and start over so that you can kind of see how it looks. If you haven't created a workspace at all, you're going to see an image that looks like this, and it says Create Workspace on the bottom here. Workspaces are these really neat little window panes, or whatever you want to call them, right here, where you can temporarily store files that you work on or are related to something you're doing. So, for instance, I would create a workspace and I might call it, by a class I'm teaching, or a unit I'm in, or it might even be like things I need to finish or something like that. So I'm just going to make some generic name and call it like Unit 3 or something. And then I'm going to create a workspace. And so once you do that, it's going to say, what do you want to add in here? Notice it has a 25 file limit, so if you want to do more than that, you probably need to break it down into 2 workspaces. But when add files, so I can click add files, and let's just say, I'm just going to go to my drive rather than recent, and let's just say, okay, I want to put this in there, and this in here, and this, and I'm going to insert that. So then those files go in there, and I click done. And now I have this workspace here. And I could create one for every time period or class or block or whatever I teach in here. And these are just the files that I'm currently using. I don't have to go in here and look and find things. You could create a workspace of things I use every day, or you could create a workspace of like parent contacts or whatever you want, that you want to just keep some things together in there. And so that's how you do that. If you want to add things to the workspace from your drive, so maybe later on you go, I really should have added this in here to it too. Well, you just right click on it and you add it to workspace. Now, if you had more than one workspace, they'd all show up here, but you can add that to Unit 3. And then when you go back in here, you'll find that there it is. It's been added in there. Okay. Let's say Unit 3 is over, and now you're on Units 4, 5, and 6 you want to have in here instead of 1, 2, and 3. That's no big deal. You could either delete this whole thing, or if this is something you reuse every so often or every time you teach a class, you could just go over here and click Hide Workspace. And now it's going to go down here into your hidden workspaces. So now you have some hidden workspaces. I'm going to hide this little menu. So then when I click on that, any hidden workspaces that I've made before are going to show up down here. And now I can hit my menu and I can unhide my workspace, and it pops right back up in there. And I could do Unit 3 again with a different group of kids. So it's pretty neat. I've found all kinds of ways. Like I have in my drive, I have a workspace of, like to do, done, ongoing projects, things like that. So, I've organized my workspaces by activities, but I could definitely see organizing them by periods and times of the day, holidays, different activities you do with the kids during the day. I mean, there's a whole host of things. And then what's great is when you're done with it, you just hide it. And then when that time of year comes around again, you unhide it, and you don't have to remake the workspace. Also, be aware that if you have something in here and you remove it, whoops. Oh, there it is. Remove from Workspace. That doesn't delete it from your drive at all. It just removes it from the workspace. So I encourage you to mess around with this. It's actually been really helpful for me. The more I do it, the more it saves me time. And I think it's a pretty neat little add-on that Google has done. Thanks for watching.